Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ziggy Odyssey. We're talking about something really cool story called Hidden History of Napa Valley. It's called Sawyer and Company. Sawyer and Company is a good is a good place that you can sew and all those rugs and every shirts and every scholars that can make things that can be good for they can make something that's something really comfortable and designable and colorful and cute. All people might enjoy it. It's something that you can fresh on those companies that have been going on for every decades in the century when they started the company. So I'm just gonna read it and see if I can tell you. So here we go. French Albert Sawyer was born to become the tanner. His father, Benjamin Franklin Sawyer, grew up on a farm in a small middle town in ritual New Hemisphere before leaving architecture for the tanning business. And in late 1869, French married Martha Whitton Holden, the daughter of the wood manufacturer was named, funnily enough, Benjamin Franklin. French sold the sheepskins in Concord, and he might remain these have not had a chance to visit to Napa in December 1869. They come to Napa since 1869. Pretty interesting. He noticed local teachers were throwing sheepskins away. They apparently had no use for the hide once the sheep was out of it. So he opened for the small wool pullery, a factory where wool was removed from some sheepskins. He sent the wool to Boston manufacturers, and after pickling the hides in brine, he shipped them to the tanneries on the East Coast. French made enough money to enlist to his father to partner with him in 1861. The father-son team secured a lot in the war from the Napa River. For the business, they dubbed B.F. Sawyer and Company's wool pullery and tannery. The location gave them access to water needed for tanning, a place to dump waste, and the ability to ship directly instead of the transportation goods to another warehouse for picking and storing. Paddle wheel steamships brought animal skins up to Sawyer and took it finished and leather down to the Bay Area ports for the export. The same year, 1871, they hired Manuel Menas, a German immigrant and skilled tanner. He developed a new process to make a luxuriant leather. They called Napa patent and leather, but now commonly known as Napa leather. He also created Napa Tan, a soft, long-lasting, waterproof cowhide shoe leather that remained flexible as it aged. In 1916, Edward Menes, Manuel's son, formed a tanning liquor, composed chiefly of sodium, digitamate, derived from processing chromium or chromite, and the oxide mineral made of chromium, iron, and oxygen. Was for years used in acid compounds during the tanning process. It was mined in small quantities in Lake, Napa, and Sonoma counties, and so our tannery was not only for the main commercial buyer for Lake County and the chronomite, but also operated its own mine at Harp and Sons Ranch near Middletown. Well, and here's more. I'm going to give you a short one before I'm going to talk about something cooler. Abraham W. Norton, a retired blacksmith and mechanic, and Samuel Holden, a lawyer of French's brother-in-law, also become partners as the tannery grew. Sawyer processed on average 300,000 hides from sheep, deers, and goats, 1 million pounds of wool in 1877, making it the largest wool pullery and tannery on the West Coast. Sawyer shipped throughout the United States and as far away from as China manufactured leather for use in gloves, shoes, sporting goods, and even car tires. You know, it's pretty cool. It's not that bad, but you know, pretty interesting. I just didn't ever seen those owners and those patient workers. They can just do it all. You know, it's a long history. You know, everybody has histories. You know, I don't think I know about those wool stuffs or tannering stuff, so I'm not the case of the worker that I will take over, but that's too much. But we'll look up for more information. So here we go. Okay, here's another one. Workers got out the day off for special holidays. During the Solano and Napa District and Fair in 1989, Sawyer let workers off for the whole week for the festivities. The owners paid well, particularly in 1880, when they divided a portion of yearly profits amongst all the employees, while not to miss a single day of work of that year. White men took home $91, a hefty bonus for the period. Employees found it such as a conventional place to work, and when Menez retired in 1883. 60 workers in the remaining home of his home, the White House at 443 Brown Street, and gifted him with a gold-topped cane. And sadly, many workers have paid a painful price for their loyalty. Increasingly and complex machinery as in the drives, so former power meant to the accidents were not common on the factory floor. Yeah, pretty interesting. I think we're gonna skip those parts because there's something that have to do with accidents or death. But during like tannering and all kind of stuff it's a hard thing to do, you know. And I know it's tough because you know a lot of case of workers they used to been there since the immigrant workers. Well, Chinese workers used to be around, but not around. You know, what's the big deal? I'm like, maybe there's some people they can hire, and some people they have to fire, you know? In that case, Mexicans can do that too when they work for a certain company, and so does the NPS too, like Napa Valley Sports Services or any services they can work for certain company for jobs. But, well, they've been there in the past since like 20th century, you know? I'm like, can you imagine like how many workers they can deal with all those good stuff they can do? Wooling and tannering, man, can you imagine? And like every people they can do it, man. Imagine in the workplace they can just do it all, you know. I won't mind about that, and I won't buy it. You know, it's good. You know, it's good that you have the main effect of the stories, and that's the reason why they showed up. You know what I mean? All right, here's another one. It might be a really good story to be able to show up. Something really cool. So here's the story. Here's another one. In 1974, Sawyer was sold again. The tannery was the main supplier of sheepskin coats for nearly every major United States-based retailer. So to keep up with the demand, the new owners planned to construct 3 additional buildings as a Combe Street plant. But trouble loomed for the horizon. Although the chromites and tanning liquor Sawyer taught it to the years prior come back to haunt the company. Interesting. Well, it's kind of weird because it's something to have to do with the Napa River shit, but I don't know what to say. You know, I just read this chapter. It's kind of weird. You know, it says in the Proposition 65, but I don't get it. It sounds a little weird, but anybody can get it. You know, we need to like keep the propositions good and mild and leap, because every people got leap from their jobs. Every people, they just do what they have to brought things, you know, since during the 70s. 70s and 80s, they propped in from their jobs. But 1990 isn't resolving. All is because of a lot of people, they working on like exploitable jobs, like Sizzlers or Arby's, Burger King, McDonald's, or Walmart, Kmart, Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, and Ran Rock Cafe, or ABC, or every restaurant. They've just been there for reasons, you know. So does Buttercream Bakery too, you know. They run the place in Napa, you know. They run everything, everything, everything more than like tanning and wooling stuffs, you know. Takes a lot of process that you want to be competent for to get paid, you know. And I know it's tough because, you know, every people wants to have the vision life in Napa, you know, more than anything, you know. It's just life, you know. Life is a ghetto vision. Life is like the crazy days that's happening for like in the past, in the 19th to 20th century, you know. People, they just can't get over that stuff. And they just can't get over all the ranks, you know, when before Napa was a rich city, you know? Like, can you imagine there's ever this place that was one of the oldest place ever? Man, I can't believe it, you know? It's been a long time coming when we haven't seen this building before I was born. Before I raced to come to Napa for a little while. And I don't see Sawyer Tanning and Company. I see like South Napa. I see the Maxwell Bridge, who runs the business around somewhere in the Napa Flood Project or somewhere. Or the water place, you know? Or the water plant. They've been there too. So that water plant was been there since like when Napa was small. Napa Sanitation District was small too. You know, they haven't built it since the 20th century, you know? It's been there for a while when they have a water plant and a power plant they were just built like 1850s or so. So it happens before, you know? It's always in between. Okay, so here's the next one. That's going to be the saddest one ever. So here we go. Between changing attitudes toward environmental protection and the drop in the sheepskin market by 1990, the written on the wall through Sawyer managed to keep opening its coat and shoe factories. More than 100 people were let go over the holiday season. And on December 14, 1990, Sawyer Tanning Company was no more. Today, the 110,000 square foot Sawyer Tanning complex is home to the over 15 tenants, many working in art or design. Which the recent trend of redevelopment along the Napa River, now that the Napa River